welcome back to the channel CPS-POD. I'm Colin, CP Overview.
I'm Stephen, SS Guys.
And I'm Phil, Toffees Oros.
We are at the Bottle and Glass in Rainford. Thought I'd give them a mention.
Yeah.
Good hosts.
Very nice.
What happened to Dry January?
Yeah.
Never mind.
He was out the table for us, didn't he? So it
Yeah,
was nice
that's
to
good of them.
do
What have you all been up to?
in the last week or
Yeah, whatever.
work, really, for me. Trying to get a couple of videos out. But there's been a lot of football on lately, hasn't there, as well?
Yeah, watched a lot of football. Been to the Etihad. Did film the Etihad for the first
Do you know what I
time.
noticed with the football? Because there was no VAR, VAR,
Yeah.
at the cup games.
Yeah.
How bad the refs are without it.
Yeah.
It was like they didn't, because they no longer got that backup.
Yeah.
It was like some of the decisions were awful.
Did you notice it was a bit more fun? Like the goal was a goal.
Yeah.
It was celebrated. There was none of that drop of like, is it going to get chalked off? Is it not? And stuff.
I think that's the biggest downside of
It
VAR,
is.
is when they score a goal and they either
You wait.
you either wait
and wait.
or they celebrate it and then you wait and then
And
they
then
chalk
the
it
away
off.
fans go, ah!
Yeah.
But even when it gets confirmed as a goal, it's just like, you know, you've had the initial yay, then you see the VAR, there's the down, and then it's not the same once the goal. It's like yay, and then
It's worse if they
Yeah.
like blow up straight away
Yeah.
and like no
Yeah.
goal and whistle
Yeah.
it, so they don't celebrate.
It's like when
it.
someone's offside as well, and they know they're offside, they let them carry on playing, don't they? And then they'll
Yeah.
finish a shot or whatever, they could score a goal.
Yeah.
The crowd start cheering, and the flag goes up like that.
Yeah, but it's you think with the technology that they've got, how are they getting it so wrong? You know,
Yeah.
so much. You know,
What happened to the semi-automatic offsides in the World Cup? That was
Yeah.
meant to be really accurate and quick.
wasn't that supposed to start this season?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I know we've got to get, without VAR you'd have human error, which is fine, but there seems to be more discussion with VAR than there does with, you know, human error.
But you're not enjoying the game, either. You're talking more about VAR than the game itself, aren't you? So
Yeah.
it's not like, the team played well. It's
I think
like,
it takes it's just too long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the issues I have, there's two teams in the Premier League that are stopping this from happening. It's both Liverpool and Manchester United. They're the only two teams in the Premier League that don't have screens at the grounds, right? As a season ticket holder at Everton, we are getting a worse experience as a season ticket holder, as a match goer rather than a season ticket holder, than somebody who's sat at home, because we don't get to see a replay of what VAR is ruled on or not ruled on. They say, oh, it's offside, but we don't get to see it. Or if there's a controversial decision where, you know, he gets a yellow card and it gets overturned to a red card, we don't see it. Where if you sat at home watching it on the television, you actually get to see it. You know,
So you don't, in the stadiums that have got screens, you
No,
still don't
no.
see it?
don't see a replay, no.
No, but the thing is, if you know Manchester United and Liverpool were forced to have screens, then they could implement that so that everyone had to do that. So as a match-going fan, you get to see what's actually
The
happening.
thing is, looking at those two grounds, where would you actually put a screen?
If you fit it in somewhere.
They look hard, doesn't it? When you look around Anfield and you fly around there, you think, what space can you put a screen in?
Well,
They're not small, are they, really?
allegedly, when they were doing the Anfield Road stand,
It was Klopp
Yeah.
said, didn't want a
they
screen.
didn't want a screen. Now I know Everton, it was about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, we played, I think it was Millwall in an FA Cup game, and Millwall beat us 2-1, but the second goal was a handball. They replayed it on the screen, the goal, right? The ref would give it, and they replayed it on the big screen, and you're actually seeing on the BBC the manager looking up to the people who do the television, going like that, because it was so blatant a handball. If the referee would have seen it, he would have ruled it out. But I do think we need to be seeing replays like that at games. The other argument to it is if it's a bad foul, you know, you see something happen, or it's a mistake by a referee, the crowd could get really agitated and stuff like that. But I think match-going fans should have as good experience as people who sat at home.
Have you ever been in the ground and there's been like really bad injury?
Yes, yeah. Andre Gomez broke his leg just in front of me. Seamus Coleman, I've seen
Was that
this.
Young Me Son, was it? From that?
Pardon?
Young Me Son, was it from Spurs?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he did a petulant foul which started the chain of events. I think he tapped Gomez as he was running, and then it was the next lad who clattered into him who did the break. But it was a petulant foul by Son who started the chain of events.
Yeah.
The other one was Rondon, I think it was, did it on Seamus Coleman. He went to take a shot and Coleman went in to kick the ball, and Rondon kicked his leg and snapped his leg. That was horrendous. I've seen a few at Goodison.
I was trying to think where I see one. Gillingham many years ago, can't remember the player. It was against Fulham. I remember it being against Fulham. Fulham lad done a bad tackle and broke his leg, and then the players all started fighting. And in the middle of that was the physio trying to get to the player with the broken leg with his bag, and he's hitting players around the head with his bag and on his way on the pitch.
I've seen.
Is that the good, the bag, and the ugly?
I've seen a couple of bad head injuries where you're generally concerned for the player where they look like they're about to start CPR on the pitch. I've seen that. That happened last season. I can't remember who it was.
You see it with fans, don't you, as well? With fans.
Beto.
You see it with fans, don't you, as well?
Yeah. I've been there a couple of times where people had heart attack in the stadium and stuff. It's just not nice to see, is it?
No. Just going back to screens again now, Anfield or whatever. Is it an ice screen or a sunscreen?
Your jokes.
Yeah,
I think we're requesting for next Christmas a new joke book for Stephen.
Guys, I'm going to be busy next podcast. The first request was, can we tape Phil's mouth shut?
At least I've told you.
I'll be here with the tape, both of you.
I will say, I'll talk less. So,
I'll have a sign, it was him.
I'm not feeding you jokes. So do you think VAR is ruining football?
Yes,
it's
and
not
no.
flowing enough, is it?
No.
It doesn't let it flow enough.
Where do you think we're getting it wrong? Because like in the continent, apparently it's better.
Do you know what I think's wrong? When they send the ref to the monitor to have a look and they play it in slow motion. Why do they not do it in? Because it's meant to be a clear and obvious error.
Yeah, so it's in real time.
So if it was in real time, and you still might look and think, no, do you know what?
The thing is, though, as well in football, there's a lot of play acting, isn't there?
Yeah.
So someone could make it look like someone's clipped a foot and really go over and start like, oh, I've been shot in the neck. Someone put their arm up like that, and they haven't.
Yeah.
And by slow motion and seeing that, you can think, hang on, you're play acting, so you can.
This is one of the things I think the Premier League needs to stamp down on more, is the play acting. After the games are finished of the weekend, the Premier League watch all the games on the Monday. They get a team and they watch it all. Why aren't they retrospectively going, that's a dive?
Do you know what? The other bit that gets me with, it's not play acting as such, but what happened to the 6-second rule for goalkeepers?
Yeah.
Oh, with the ball?
Yeah, because if someone's winning now and the goalkeeper gets the ball, it's like...
Pat it down.
Roll it out.
But they lie down and they hold the ball for a few seconds and then they stand up.
Who's champion at that? Pickford.
Yeah.
He's well known for it.
Yeah. Time wasting.
Don't mind when he's doing it for England. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to another subject then, doesn't it? It's like, we all hate players for rival teams and stuff like one. I'll give you an example for myself, Steven Gerrard. And the reason I hate him is because he was a great footballer. But as soon as he played for England, you're like, yeah, come on. It's weird how that can just suddenly flip, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't buy into England. I watch England at the World Cup. I can't say I don't think I've ever watched an England friendly or anything like that.
I used to.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. I probably did when I was a kid.
Not in recent years. They've just lost something. It's kind of strange because the team now, what Gareth Southgate did to the team, he got them playing as a team better than I've seen in a long, long time. We've had better players in the past, but they never played as a team. But he's got them playing, he's obviously not the manager now, but he got them playing as a team like you'd see in the Premier League every week. But I just didn't watch them.
No, because if you ever watch the overlap with Gary Neville?
Yeah.
They talk about it sometimes, saying like, there was back in them days, because they're great players. The United lads would be in a group, the Liverpool lads would be in a group, the Chelsea lads would be in a group.
But also in the
never
older times though, players were more physical, and you can actually a tackle was a tackle. Now it's sort of you've stood on my toe, I'm going to go over and roll around about 15 times.
Yeah, it's just taking something out of the game, the diving and stuff. You know, you can't just say it's the influx of the foreign players who brought the diving into the game, because you've got players like Harry Kane who's very good at going down and stuff.
But the thing you notice as well though, I hardly ever see a trainer on the pitch anymore.
No.
Whereas when they used to be able to tackle, the trainer used to be on quite a bit.
Do you know what would be funny, right? If there's a tackle that happens close to the dugout, if all your people on the bench, the subs, have little cards underneath, and they go like 5, give you 5 for that one, give you a 10 for that one, give you an 8 for that one. You know what I mean? I think they'd stop it then, wouldn't they? Could you be embarrassed, wouldn't you? You get embarrassed then.
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't know, it's just like, I don't like the way the commentators are about it as well, because like, they say, oh, it's great play that from Harry Kane when he's won a penalty, even though he's dived. They justify it, he played for that. And you're like, it's cheating, it's cheating, you know.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it's so obvious. I remember one years ago, was Salah, great player Salah. I was against Newcastle, and one of the Newcastle players pulled the shirt back in the box, which is enough for a penalty anyway. But he fell forwards, and it was only because he fell forwards that the ref gave the penalty. But the movement wasn't the same as the action that was done by the Newcastle player. And I was like, how is that? And we had VAR at the time. How is that ruled as a penalty when you look what he did?
I never get why the commentator sometimes says if it fell over then it would have been a penalty.
Yeah.
Because they've stayed on their feet.
Yeah.
But that means it wasn't a penalty because
was it a penalty or not?
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's ruining the game. It's taking the fun out of the game. And you look back in some of the football from the 80s, the 70s, some of the tackles that flew in there. And like one big comedy moment for me was watching Graham Souness comment and going, "That's a bad tackle." When you see some of the tackles that man throwing in, and he's like commenting on something which is not half as bad as what he's done. It's just.
But you look and then you see it from the other side of it. There's always Roy Keane on the TV. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. He says
Oh, you've got to love Roy Keane, but that's his job.
But you see the transition as well from football, where footballers play his career, then they go into sort of commentating or analysing the game, and you're thinking, you're analysing that, but when you played, you could get really stuck in, and now you're just little, like dancing around someone and just go like that, and they go over, they go, like yellow card, and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, one of the things I like about Keane though, he looks as angry in commentating as he does when he was on the pitch. Where some of them, as they've progressed into the commentary, they look like they've had a change of personality from what they were on the football pitch.
Who do you think was the hardest player in the Premier League or in football leagues?
Easy. Double Ferguson. Big Dunk. Nobody would mess with him.
I would go for someone like Brian Robson.
Brian Robson?
Yeah. I see a lot of him when I was a kid playing. Him and Souness used to go at it.
I think Vinnie Jones was sort of a tough man as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he wouldn't go Ferguson.
No, but he probably wouldn't.
He didn't. He stood back on Ferguson. One of my funny, you can actually see this on YouTube if you search it. Funny moments in football. Paul Ince was a big hard man of football. He would push it about and stuff.
I think he was more mouth than
But there was a derby
more mouth
game.
and little shorts. No trousers, little shorts.
There was a derby game when he played for Liverpool, and Ferguson threw him to the ground. Literally threw him to the ground. He got up as if he was ready to kick off and looked at who he did and just smiled and then just sort of like walked away.
Was it someone called like Sigmund Freud or something that you had around the neck or something from Leicester? Was it Sigmund Freud? Something like that, some foreign fella from Finland or whatever it was, I don't know where it was. But
Was that the Jimmy Bullard incident where Bullard he looked like he didn't know whether to laugh or cry?
No,
have you seen that?
No.
Check it on YouTube, Bullard and Ferguson. It's like Ferguson's like he's wrapped his head around his.
Have you seen? I've talking to Jimmy Bullard. Have you seen some of his stuff on YouTube? He's near enough could be a pro golfer.
Yeah.
He can do 100 breaks at snooker.
Right.
It seems that whatever sport
Yeah.
He takes up, he's good at.
Well, Michael Owen was the same, wasn't he? He could have been a professional golfer or a snooker player. He was very good at them. I think it's a mindset. It's having a mindset and the concentration, isn't it?
I think for Michael Owen, probably the snooker team was bigger than him, and he'd be like, he's only got a short
But
person.
Jimmy Bullard, I think he ended up injuring his knee. He was qualifying for the British Open of golf.
Yeah.
But then he hurt his knee and that messed his plans up.
I remember seeing a picture as well of Vinnie Jones with Paul Gascoigne behind him. Grabbing his nuts, you know what I mean? And thinking like, players are up there to sort of grab you and you put you off and things. And
Gazza's got low.
I was in Wembley when Gazza scored against Scotland.
Right.
That one in Euro '96.
The one where he chipped it over.
Dentist chair runs on the floor. Celebration.
I went every game of Euro '96.
Yeah. He for me, greatest player I've ever seen, Gazza.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously Ronaldo and Messi, different levels, but there was just something about Gazza. And I know he played for Everton in the later years of his career, but I was just chuffed to bits to see him put on an Everton shirt.
Who was the best player you've seen? What best player you've seen? Not necessarily seen live or on the TV or whatever.
I
probably everyone says Pele, but I've never seen him.
I've got Ronaldo. Ronaldo for me. He's done it in different leagues. He's done it in the Spanish league. He's done it in the Premier League, which is the hardest. Yeah, but he's playing against farmers.
Well,
But he's done it in the Premier League. He's done it in the Spanish league. And they're the two hardest leagues in the world.
Did he go to Syria?
Pardon?
Did he go to Syria?
He did, didn't he? He went on loan to Juventus.
He was Juventus, Ronaldo,
yeah, and he did it there as well. Where Messi, an amazing player, he's never stepped up to the Premier League, and I think that's the bar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm undecided. Because two of my lads are United season ticket holders, so I see a lot of Ronaldo. Because I used to take him, used to go all the time. I've seen Ronaldo live. I don't know how many times. I've seen Messi 3 times, and not once has he put in a good performance. But I still think Messi's a better player than Ronaldo.
You wouldn't argue about having any of them in your team, would you? Gillingham will get right up in the Premier League. For me, just Gazza, there was just something about him, and it was that cheekiness that he had as well. And I think maybe that's the difference with Gazza to the other Premier League players like Messi, obviously Messi not Premier League, but Messi and Ronaldo. They're so serious and they're so focused. Gazza had the talent, but he just had something about him as well. You know, the cheekiness.
Yeah.
And I suppose it was Thierry Henry and Ian Wright as well. No one ever watching football. They were great players to just.
Do you think at the time you just don't realise? It's only like in a few years' time you suddenly realise how good some of them were. Or back in say the late 90s, early 2000s, how good the Premier League was then.
Who? Okay, we'll go to the total opposite end of the scale then. Most overrated player.
Mine's not a strange one. I remember took my sons to the Youth Cup final at United, and Danny Welbeck was playing for United, and I watched that and watching there, and I was like, how the heck has this lad ever got on a contract? And he went, he's had a good career, hasn't he? In all honesty.
He's at Arsenal now. Oh, no, he's not at Arsenal. He was at Arsenal for a bit. He's bright.
But at the time, I was like, I cannot believe they've given him a contract. But overrated.
There's quite a few actually, but you try and pinpoint one, it's really hard on the spot. Like, thanks for that, Phil.
Yeah, I put you on the spot. You've got to come up with the goods.
You do yours and I'll think of mine.
Or did you ever, who have you seen as a young kid and think he's really going to make it? You see Rooney, I guess.
Rooney. I seen Rooney at the Youth FA Cup at Goodison before he even broke onto that first team. It was the game where he lifted the shirt, the infamous shirt, once a blue, always a blue, and then 12 months later signed for United. You could just see he was head and shoulders above everybody else on the pitch. Even when he come back to Goodison after he had a spell at United, he was an aging player, he still was head and shoulders above everybody. okay, his speed was gone and stuff, but his touch and his just what he did with the ball, you know, he's
I
unbelievable.
watched Reece James when he was on loan at Wigan. He was only a youngster, and he's now Chelsea captain. So I suppose. But then you could see he was going to be, he was going to be a player.
I'll go for my most overrated player, and obviously I'm going with him. My Everton thing is Duncan Ferguson, right? He was a good player, but he didn't turn up enough. You know, he's like seen at the club, you know, as a club legend. You know, people idolise him and things like that. And you know, I really liked the guy, and I loved watching him play, but he just didn't turn up enough. And there was a famous interview with, I think it was Joe Royle. And he said, like, Ferguson only wants to play against United and Liverpool and stuff like that, and the little teams he wasn't, you know.
John Barnes scored a goal against Brazil and lived off it for years.
Yes. Well, it's amazing when you see some footballers and how they've made a career out, a top level career. And others just don't make it. You know, I used to play football with a goalkeeper who was absolutely phenomenal, and I don't understand how he never made it as a professional goalkeeper. He was good enough to be a professional goalkeeper, and just right place, right time, isn't it?
Yeah, I played with someone, and he went on to play for Maidstone, where I lived, Wimbledon. Newcastle in England, and he wouldn't even. I don't think he even got in the school team.
Yeah. I wouldn't like the life of a footballer.
It's a short career, but the thing is, the money's that good. So you need a short career, then you can do whatever you want, can't you?
I really struggle with all that money.
Well, you'd have what? The Matrice, they have the Enterprise, have all the different drones on the blue.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have a Renault Scenic.
No. I've been fortunate to know a lot of footballers in my time, and one footballer in particular, I remember having a conversation with him. He was a young lad, about 21, 22, and I was like, so what do you do? What you do in your spare time? He was like, nothing really. I went, do you not go to the cinema? He's like, I love going to the cinema. He said, but I don't have anyone to go with. And I was like, have you not got no friends? And he was like, it's hard. He said, because you don't know whether people want to be your friend because they like you, or they just want to be your friend because you are a footballer. He said, it's really hard. He said,
it's the sense of one time of Beckham, come on to WX with him. Beckham was walking along, it was in the early years of Beckham, and about 15 kids following him, running down after him. I thought, Piper, he was walking down, his cap on incognito, collars up, walking down. What, his kids chasing him? You want the quiet life, don't you, really? You lamb like you get, but you also need your own time.
And it's not done in no one, is it?
No.
I remember I was in the Met Quarter in Liverpool. It was the swanky shops at the time. I was walking along, because I work with the public, you know loads of people and stuff, and you nip out for your lunch, you're constantly, hi, because you see that many people. I remember walking in the Met Quarter, I was like, I recognise him. I was like, hi, you're alright? And he went, yeah, not bad, thanks, and then carried on walking, and I took 3 steps forward and I went, that's Stephen Gerrard, I don't know him. But fair play to the lad, he just went, yeah, you're alright.
Yes. That's it. But you see famous people, don't you? And you think, because you know who they are, do you need to go over and say hello, everyone, because you're in your own privacy as well. You're a private person, aren't you?
Yeah, I remember, and this sounds dead self-indulgent, mentioning another celebrity, and I apologise. I did Belinda Carlisle's hair, right, and I remember chatting to her, and it was like about a week before I'd read in a magazine that she lives in the south of France. She'd done an interview and stuff like that. Trying to make small talk. I said, oh, you still live in the south of France. And then I felt really strange for asking the question, because I'd never met this woman before, and then I'm suddenly asking her and stuff. And I said, look, can I just stop you? Does this sound weird when I said, like, she went, you get used to it? She said, she said, you share with the public what you want, and you keep stuff behind us. She was really nice, she was really lovely. basically entertained me for 40, 50 minutes while I did the hair, telling me stories about her life and things like that.
Did you let her get a word in?
Yes, I did. And she was utterly gorgeous as well.
We should try and name drop some of her songs as well as you're talking to her.
Yeah.
About Circles in the Sand and things like that.
Yeah, Heaven is a Place and stuff like that. But it's funny because when I mentioned the kids, I go, yeah, I've done it ahead, they're like, who's she?
Yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, it's interesting, fame. I wouldn't like to be famous.
Yeah. I suppose on YouTube, you're not famous as such, but you have people who watch it, which is, you appreciate it, and it doesn't make sense to see, winning out to be one.
It's weird being somewhere like at Bramley Middle Dock and someone comes up and says, "Hiya, Colin."
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I watch your videos.
Yeah.
That takes you.
It's nice though, but
It's nice, but it's weird.
It is.
Yeah. I've had it once in the football stadium where someone's recognised me, not from my own videos, when I did a commentary with Colin's. It is a bit strange and that. But it's nice that people want to engage with you and stuff. But generally, most of the time, you're halfway through your video and you're do you realise I've got a battery in, you know?
Yeah, you're in thought, aren't you? You're training, so you're doing something,
Yeah.
you're thinking, oh, so it's pause your mic, pause your controller. Oh, yeah, you're right, and then
And
or
try and
sometimes you
remember.
forget and you don't, and you're recording the talk with them, thinking you have stopped it, and you carry on doing it, you edit your video and you're thinking, that fella's talking to me for about 5 minutes there, or 2 minutes, I'm going like, oh.
Yeah. You wonder why your sound recording is like 5 minutes longer than the video.
It's out to sync.
But then it's trying to remember what you were actually talking about when that, because didn't you on your last video get somebody come over and say about Sean Dyche being sacked?
Yes, yeah.
And was recorded at the end, was it?
I was near the end of the video, and he said, oh, my son just texted me. He said, because the thing is, to come over, pulled up in front of me, I showed him the controller, said, this is where I am now, so I put the drone there. And I said, here's the pitch. Because you look at the stadium the outside, thinking, oh, it's lovely this. So I go over and I go, there's the pitch. Oh, wow, look at this. So you go, there you go. You know. And so,
I'll tell you a story. Along similar lines.
Yeah.
So on one of my videos, another droner we all know was there, and finished my video, and he come over chatting.
Yeah.
And we've got the rights to rights.
Yeah.
And I had my mic was still recording. And then when I released my video, I hadn't chopped it off at the end.
Right.
And then I'd released it for about 5 minutes when I got some messages, I think you need to edit your video.
Yeah.
And then he rang me up and said, apparently you need to edit your video. And I did. Got away with it because we'd called anybody and everybody.
Right.
Were we on that?
What did they call you? Expletives in there.
I had
there were plenty of expletives.
I had the thing the other day, I think it was Friday last week, it might have been Wednesday, I can't remember what day it was last week. Suddenly got an influx of Russian people subscribing to my channel and commenting on the channel, right? So I was translating it. I was using Google Translate and I thought I'll use it to translate back. And I was like, why is this? The next thing I popped up on
Russian TV.
A Russian YouTuber. He bumped into me at Bramley Moor earlier in the summer. He'd done the Everton tour and he just literally walked into me and then he said, "Can I just ask what you're doing?" So I said, I'm just taking a drone. He went, "Can I film you? Can I ask you a couple of questions?" So I'm on this Russian YouTuber's channel answering a couple of questions about Everton and the stadium and stuff.
Did you answer in Russian?
And it's got subtitles on. But interestingly, right, because I was thinking, I'd like to know what he's saying and stuff. And I forgot you can put the subtitles on Russian. So I watched the whole video. It was quite good.
Us three ended up on some auditor's channel, didn't we?
Oh, he turned up, didn't he?
He turned up and us three would have stood there chatting.
Walking down the side of the road and he's there with the camera, looking at bins, looking at the floor, and looking at doors like this. And
I forgot about that.
He comes over to us and he goes, who are you? And remember? Because you hadn't had your channel then, you didn't start then, did you? You know what I mean?
I don't think I was. I think I was was I commentating with you at the time?
And then you'd come along.
Yeah.
He was just stood there chatting. Can't remember his name of his channel.
DJC.
No.
DJC or something, wasn't it?
No. JC.
JC or something like that. I followed him for a little bit.
We had the other one, he was something else. We had someone else one night, me and you.
Right, yeah.
I can't remember it.
I remember following him for a little bit.
I don't know.
Tyrant Hunter or Media or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, there was some funny name for him. Yeah. But
He didn't produce very good videos. I remember I unsubscribed after a bit.
I think they were awful.
Yeah.
Well, I edit this bit out if in case he's watching.
yeah, we just watched it to see where we were, to see what he said about us. But
Didn't he say he did drone videos, but there was no drone videos? Cause I remember
he said I might get the drone up in a minute
Yeah.
on his video.
Yeah.
And then you look back through his videos,
There's
he
never
never
drone
ever
whatsoever.
drone.
Yeah. I think his DJ's been mentioned on this podcast far too much, but because DJ is so popular, it's spewed a load of them to do it, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was just strange because he filmed the floor.
Yeah.
It never like put the
It
camera.
wasn't to his
Never
loud.
put the camera on.
He didn't even put any of his own, because I remember he said he used famous YouTubers, and you spoke went no, and I went yes. yeah, of course you are.
Well, that was in our infancy, wasn't it, really, then? I suppose.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, my first video I've ever done of the Etihad, I don't know if I'll do any more, but my first one, I don't think it's very good. I was just getting a lay of the land and seeing where everything is. You know, I said this is the training ground, and it wasn't the training ground. I was looking at the other side. I knew where the women's.
I knew what he was like.
I knew where the women's ground was, so I was going to go and fly over that. And then as I directed the drone towards it, I went, oh, there's the training ground there. So it was not a great video, but you got people commenting underneath, and it was like, you know, the training grounds on the side. I said, well, if you watch the full video, you'll see that I do correct myself and go, I'll do that. I couldn't fly over because there was a women's FA Cup game going on at the time, so I stayed clear from it.
Funnily enough, I was there the same day, and when I was driving away, the car park attendants were all there getting ready to push the people in.
First time I'd done the Etihad, see, I played a different game. I put the drone up in the air and then went, I don't know if this is the north, east, south or west end. I haven't a clue what they're building. Please put it in the comments and tell me, and I come back each week and film it.
Well,
and it worked.
So one of the things, I've had quite a few Man City fans comment on the video, saying great video and all this, and I genuinely asked back, said, as an Everton fan, would you be accepted if I filmed the stadium and stuff? And one great thing for you two is they said there's two great guys who do it now. So that's.
Talking of that,
I was going to say, in terms of like covering the stadium, as far as I'm aware, there's only really you two covering it at the moment. Might be a third soon, you know, but
yeah, we'll see him off.
Yeah.
Coming on our patch.
I know. So, Nicker's wheels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
He's
think
Liverpool now. Better cut that bit out.
Oh yeah.
no, we'll just leave it all in, bro.
Yeah. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Saying that, we better leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting on.
Yeah.
Right, well, we've enjoyed this podcast, haven't we? It's been enjoyable. This.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, so yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and all them other. Buy me a coffee.
We forgot to say at the end of the previous podcast we recorded.
Yeah.
So like, share, and subscribe. We will get better at this. We promise.
We'll get it there. And see you all on the next one.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks, guys.